The thing is, would I, as your host, with the absence of Cyborg, actually be cruel enough to start recording at some point and not tell anyone? Are we live? Could we be live? Right now.
Are we though?
Well, I mean, we're in live recording. We've been live since we clicked on live recording.
Let's say we are. Let's say that we are.
Are we all the way live?
Snake Eyes is sitting in here listening, so I mean, we're live for him, I think.
Absolutely.
Are we a 2 live crew?
Nope, we're 4.
I think this is in fact a 4 live crew. Yes. Now recording, said the Shad. Into the General. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to another episode of the Netherkast. I am your host, Black Cyborg.
Yep.
Putting the lie to that statement is the fact that I am in fact Shad. What happened with BC is that he, after MK11 failed to be announced at E3, he has died, and he loved to sing, and he loved to rhyme, and we'll miss him very much. I'll be inserting a little bit of a requiem here for him, perhaps a threnody of some sort. He's gone, and he's never coming back, and you're stuck with me. I'm sorry.
I like Amazing Grace on the bagpipes.
Bagpipes, that's
I think that's the best funeral music, I think.
We'll add it in post. It's gonna happen. So we decided to
I thought he had a cough. That's hardcore. I didn't know it was that bad.
No, it's suicide. Apathy and then suicide. He cared so little.
In that case,
about the rest
I
of
think
life.
it needs to be the MASH theme.
Yeah, Amazing Grace isn't as appropriate anymore.
We probably can't get the rights to that, so I'll do it with my hands. And the voice.
Can't get the rights to Amazing Grace.
No, fuck Amazing Grace, man. The MASH theme. Okay.
Do you have to skip the lyrics, or can you use the lyrics?
I don't remember the actors
sing the
actually
lyrics.
using the lyrics in the show. I'm told that they did, but I only ever saw the end theme, or it was just the horn.
Suicide.
I don't think they ever used the lyrics in the show. The lyrics are pretty fucking dark.
They really are. I was amazed when I heard the Manson cover years and years later, and he was singing. I'm like, this melody sounds really familiar. Wait, that's the MASH theme.
On many
Oh god, that's miserable.
painfuls.
So
You can take or leave it if you please.
yes.
Long man.
So rather than continue
Feel
to
good
fuck
heat of the
around,
summer.
we came here tonight because it's probably about high time that we gave our reactions and feelings and commiserations and shared our bitching, for what it's worth, over the fact that, no, Virginia, there was no MK11 at E3 this year. Christmas is cancelled. So let's go around the table. Temp.
I mean, it was a bummer. Mostly because the process was just very exhausting. Because once June 1st hit, every day became, are they going to reveal MK11 day? So it's by the time Monday E3 hit, I was just dead. I was just so tired, and it just wore me out. And the whole Discord was basically, when are they going to reveal MK11? Or, man, I can't believe they didn't reveal MK11. That was this 5-day journey. So, I mean, I'm not upset. I mean, they're going to do what they're going to do. I was hoping they would reveal it because I've had this nervousness that it's going to be an alternate concept game, I don't know, MK Volleyball or some shit. But that's the main reason why I wanted to see what they had. And I'm not even nervous about that anymore because A, I saw a lot of cool stuff at E3. I'm excited for other things now, but B, I just ran out of energy. I'm just kind of tired. I mean, but it is a bummer though. For me, it's a giant bummer because it's such a different experience from when they revealed MKX. Because even though I'm not the biggest fan of MKX, the reveal experience was very positive. God, MKX, when they revealed MKX, it was like that scene from Jurassic Park, right? Where they're all looking at the raptor egg and they're all fawning, and they're looking at the egg breaks out a little bit, and then the raptor MKX peeks his head through, and Sam Neill's all like shit, and yeah, it was all fun. It was cool. It was just a really cool roller coaster ride. And MK11 reveal, or lack of, was basically just Brad Pitt shouting, "What's in the box?" That was very much my experience with MK11. So I'm not upset. I mean, I don't think they owe us a reveal. I'm just really worn out. I think the experience was just really exhausting. So that's my take on it all.
Gotta say, when you said Jurassic, the first thing I went to was just the cup of water vibrating and the immense, horrific demon approaching down the street and coming for the car and cower and run for the hills.
Yeah, that's not a bad metaphor either, honestly. It's just imagine, like, Jeff Goldblum sees the water ripple, and the T-Rex just never shows up. That's what MK11 at E3 was like.
That sounds terrifying. Jesus.
It's just suspense for 2 hours.
Invisible T-Rex mode? Why wasn't that in Resident Evil?
You know, being alone in a car with Jeff Goldblum and the water vibrating, some would find it, I don't know, slightly erotic.
That does sound very much like modern Jeff Goldblum.
Nothing but Jeff Goldblum breathing heavily.
Especially if he makes that face from Ragnarok where he's like waiting for them to finish his sentence for him.
Oh, this is sounding like fun. You guys turned me around.
So, Razor, your thoughts on E3 and the lack of combat?
So here we see the advantage to my approach, which was I don't even care. I'm not gonna start the hype machine until after the first trailer. So I was not upset at all that there was nothing at E3, because okay, so there's actually like another layer to it. Because I can imagine like other MK fans being like, but aren't you an MK fan? Don't you want there to be another MK game? How are you not possibly impatient or disappointed? And I'm just like, look, at this point, we've all been talking about what the sequel to MKX could be about for so long, and we've set up, there are certain conditions that I actually now require to be happy with the game. Things that are actually fairly unlikely, like whether or not Onaga's going to be in it. So at this point, I'm actually kind of like dreading MK11 rather than hoping for it. Like, I kind of almost don't want there to be a game so that they can never let me down.
Oh, you know that's not true.
I feel the opposite, because I'm just tired of speculating. I don't want to speculate anymore. I'm so exhausted from talking about a hypothetical game that I was like, oh, finally, we can start talking about some real shit. And now, like, now we're back. Well, I don't know if I'm back to speculating. I still feel like I'm done speculating, but
that's where I'm at.
What's up, sir?
I'm tired of speculating. I mean, we speculated.
Cyborg, but you're dead!
I thought he was dead! What the hell?
Dun, dun, dun.
He was dead.
I feel dead. So, like, I have a
Fake
cough
news.
fit. I have a cough fit anytime I try and talk, so I'm trying to keep this brief. But anyways, I just wanted to pop in to say, yeah, I agree on the whole exhaustion feeling and the idea of, I mean, it's pointless to speculate at this point. We could have several months ahead of us before a reveal, so it doesn't really matter. Speculation was at its peak during the time that we thought the game was going to actually be revealed, but now that it's just up in the air, yeah, anybody that continues to speculate, more power to you, but I'm checking out, so you guys have good stamina. But yeah, so that's that. E3 was fun. I had fun being there. And top 3 reveals real quick. I'll throw down real quick if you want, so I can
Absolutely
get the hell out of here. I liked the Smash reveal was probably my top, so I'll just start off with my number 1, Smash. Obviously, I like Smash, so they're doing things right. I believe people have said in the Discord before that it's basically Armageddon done right. I know a couple people at least said that, and that is absolutely correct. Having every character return, plus like a ton of stages. I think they're up. Like the people that analyzed the trailers and that entire reveal said they've noticed that there's currently like upwards of 90 stages in the game.
Jeez, I didn't know that.
They did say it was absolutely every single character and stage that had ever been in a Smash game.
I mean, they're on their way to.
I saw a chart that was like every stage that's been in a Smash game, and apparently all of them have been spotted in Ultimate footage, except for like 8.
Yeah, so you got upwards of 90 stages, potentially 100 when it's all said and done. You have currently, I think, 65 characters, and then potentially maybe a couple more if they have time to design them. You have one of the most fan-demanded characters in Ridley. I mean, back when I used to go to like Smash forums, Ridley and I think King K. Rool were the top 2 requested ones. So throwing in Ridley after all this time, people are super pumped about that. You have a new character in Inkling, which is, you know, kind of the newer Nintendo type of creation, which is really cool. And just all the changes they made to the game for balance sake and the way it plays just seemed really, really positive based on fan feedback. And they threw in a Battlefield version of every stage as well as the Final Destination.
That's one of my favorite changes. I think that's sick.
Yeah, I love the Omega stage thing.
I agree, and giving a Battlefield version of everyone as well on top of that, I'm super stoked about that too, because I'm not a big fan of some of those like bigger elaborate stages or the ones with like the crazy like boss hazards like Megaman stage in the last one. It's like, just give me a flat platform. I like the different looks, but I'm fine with just a flat platform, or give me the 3 platforms like Battlefield has. But yeah, I'm pretty hyped about that. And just in general, like the whole thing just was really, really well done. So that's my number 1. Number 2, just the announcement of Halo. Obviously, I'm a big Halo fan, so I knew there was one coming anyways because the developers confirmed it, but getting to see that revealed. And then the third one, I'm trying to even remember what all was revealed at E3. I don't know.
Is it Battletoads? It's Battletoads.
Yeah, Battletoads is pretty good. That was that may be it. I'm trying to think of like from the big press conferences, what other big reveals were.
You had like Devil May Cry 5, you had Death Stranding, Shadows Die Twice.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go. This is probably. It's nothing on that level of games, but for me, it's an important one, and it's Super Mario Party, because I was a huge fan of the classic Mario Parties, like 1 through 5 or whatever, the ones that were on N64 and GameCube. And then when they went to the Wii, they started doing motion controls, and then the Wii U ones, they got in like a cart, so everybody rode around in the same, like that turned into such crap. I'm looking forward to the new one because it seems like it's a return to form of the classic version. So if it's actually made well, I'm super pumped for that, because that's something my friends will get together locally and we'll hate each other and whatnot. That all the good stuff that comes from Mario Party. So that would probably be my number 3, because that was something I didn't even know. Like, I didn't see any hints for that game before the reveal. So that'd probably be my number 3 reveal in that regard.
What did you think of Soul Calibur when you played it? I know what you think, but tell the audience what you told me.
Yeah, I should probably, because I did play a few games I did want to comment on. Soul Calibur felt a lot like Soul Calibur. like, dude, I mean, let's be honest here. Maybe it's just me because I don't appreciate the finer details of the series, but to me, when I played Soul Calibur 6, it felt a lot like Soul Calibur 2. You know, like... let me rephrase that. When we played Soul Calibur 2 the other night, when we played last weekend, it made me think, you know, this is a lot like Soul Calibur 6. Like, I'm sure it's much more polished and, you know, much like, it's just better in every way, but the actual like gameplay reminded me a lot of the same, which is a good thing. So obviously, because Soul Calibur 2 still stands up to this day. So yeah, Soul Calibur 2 was good. I waited in line for like 2 hours for Megaman 11. I played the first 20 minutes. Basically what you got was 5 lives. So unfortunately, I didn't beat Blockman. So that says that either the game's difficult or I suck. But I've played a lot of Mega Man in the past, so it's probably somewhere in the middle there.
All as it should be.
Yes, and it was fun. I actually really, really enjoyed it. It felt like a classic Mega Man game. They have some new things to it where you can like slow down time, but it's on a meter that has to recharge, so it has cooldowns. So you got to be kind of careful when you use it. But so that was a thing. So I feel like they intentionally made a lot of moments difficult because they expect you to use that meter sometimes to slow down time so you can react faster. Like I'm trying to remember if you actually slow down. I think you still stay the same speed, but everything else slows down around you.
It's going to be a very, very dangerous tool because you've already got a game there, a series where it's expect that you die repeatedly to learn from your own mistakes and
Right.
eventually move on. And you're gonna have moments where people take a couple dozen deaths to realize I have to slow down time to get past this.
Yeah, and there was some different things. Like you can actually charge up your shot now. So like if you want, I mean, I don't know if that was in a previous game. I'm trying to. I think I like where you can like charge up the Mega Buster. I'm sure that's been a thing, right?
That's been a thing since like part 4.
Yeah,
Okay, 'cause
part 4 I think is where I first saw it.
Because I played the original 3 was the main ones I played, and then I think I tried 9 a few years ago. So those are the only ones I ever tried. I never even tried the X ones. But yeah, I love the original 3. Those are my favorites. Regardless, so that's a thing. And yeah, I thought that was really well polished and felt really good. I'm trying to remember what other games I tried. Mario Tennis was a lot of fun if you're into those games, like the Mario sports games. It's really, really well made. No more gimmicky motion control stuff. I think that was kind of my biggest takeaway with Nintendo is they started to stray away with the Wii of making everything motion control. So all of the games on like the Wii that were like Mario in that regard, like Mario Tennis, Mario Party, they leaned too heavy on that. So I started to lose interest. But now it feels like they're returning back to the classic gameplay that people have been asking for. So Mario Tennis was a lot of fun. Ishii and I, we played like you got to play like a set against other people, so a few games, and we ended up winning our set. So that was cool and fun. Waluigi has a fun, ridiculous thing where he moonwalks across the screen and it makes a little weird noise. Trying to remember any other games. I tried that Jump Force game, the anime fighter. That just felt really weird to me because it's like Shaolin Monks multiplayer where you can run around. It's not like a 3D fighting game in the sense that you have to sidestep or anything. You can full on run around, jump in the air, and do all sorts of crazy stuff. So definitely anime. I only played like one match of it, and it was pretty quick. I think I chose the Farmer Boy, whatever that character is. I don't remember that. I don't even know the characters' names. I tried because you can form teams of 3 versus 3. I chose Farmer Boy, different color eye person. Like one eye was red, one was blue, and then
David Bowie.
I'm trying to remember the other one that I chose. I don't even know. There were 6 characters in the game. From what I played, all I know is I won a Pac-Man lanyard just for lining up. So I was happy with that. It was worth it just for the Pac-Man lanyard. That was the best part. I mean, that's quite honest. Trying to think of anything else game-wise that I tried. Nothing else worth of note, I don't think. Well, Smash. I mean, I tried Smash. Smash was a ton of fun. I played Ridley and got 2nd place, and then I tried Megaman, which is my main in the last one, and I won, so I felt good about that.
Was everyone playable? I know everyone's in the game, but could you just release 50 characters on the screen you could choose from?
No, and there was like around 15 available, so it was a decent number to select from for a demo. But no, there was not every character on the screen. To me, when I see that screen of 65 characters, that's going to be insane.
Yeah, it's going to be wild.
But yeah, I feel like that covers the games that I actually tried. I think I played like five games, but yeah.
It's a shame you didn't beat Blockman, because that means he's still out there somewhere.
I know. It's Michael Myers. He'll return.
Who's safe? Who is safe?
No. Yeah, I don't. I didn't even get to Blockman. I got to. I don't know. I was in a rush when I played that because that's when Ishii and Brusk were talking about Kojima being on the floor and like they were trailing him to keep up with him. But he was like being mobbed by like so many people that they ended up only getting a picture of him mobbed by other people. So I didn't feel too bad.
They could not photobomb their own picture.
Exactly. I didn't feel too bad missing that. But that's when I was like still in line to play Mega Man. So I was kind of half in a hurry to try and get through it. So I wasn't playing super safe. But then, yeah, it didn't end up mattering anyways. I saw the New Day thing versus Kenny Omega and them. I got to meet them, and I actually brought Mortal Kombat shirts, like cool like design shirts that I found on websites that were pretty neat. I brought those to give to like Ed Boon or the NetherRealm Studio guys if they were going to be there for MK11. Obviously not. So since I offered to drop them off at the WB booth, but the lady said no. Like, I'm guessing she didn't want me to drop off a gift because you never know what somebody could give you. Maybe it's like clothes laced with drugs or something. Like, you never know what their thought process is.
Psychedelics.
But they basically turned me down, and then so I was like, you know what? I knew the New Day guys, Xavier Woods, Kofi, and Big E, and all them. Like on their Up Up Down Down channel, they play Mortal Kombat and Injustice and all that. So I was like, you know, I'll just give them the shirts because a couple of them were large, and then one was like an XXL. So I was just like, here. I brought them the next day and gave it to them. So they thought that was pretty cool. One's Kofi likes he said his 2 favorite games are Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, and it depends on what mood he's in, which one he likes more. So I gave him one of Sub-Zero and Scorpion sitting down in front of a game system playing Street Fighter. So I thought that was kind of appropriate.
Yeah, that's tight. Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean I have more stories, the cab driver and all that kind of crap, but I'm not gonna bog down the show with that kind of stuff for now. I just wanted to get that up there while you guys were doing that.
Yeah, we'll do the full report next time. Yeah, right now we're just doing the MK11 thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly wasn't disappointed. I mean, I was slightly disappointed, but I didn't I was having such a good time. Like, I went to the beach the first day that I was there. Went to the beach by myself, and honestly, that was the best day of the entire trip. Was just the beach by myself. As sad as that is, like that was the best part of the trip for me. But that's because I've been wanting to go to Los Angeles for a long time, and I'm big into nature. So being able to be at a beach, and after I don't even remember the last time I've been to a beach. I think I went to one in Texas back in like 13, 14, 15 years ago, something.
Yeah,
crazy.
you live in Nebraska, so it makes sense. Like
Yes.
I live right by the water, so I don't even think about it. But yeah,
All right, you don't have to brag.
it's pretty great.
There's nothing sad at all about going to see the ocean alone and looking out over the sea and pondering the deep beauty and the majesty and all the dead sailors within. It's what I'd do.
But but no, I enjoyed that. Unfortunately, it kind of ruined my trip because I got super chafed on my walk back to the hotel because I guess whatever swim trunks I picked up from the store, they had like the netting inside. So taking a 30-minute walk while you're still wet in swim trunks with that netting rubbing up against your thighs and all that kind of nonsense, like,
Of course.
oh, I was chafing so bad. Like, it burned like crazy. So I had that for the whole time I was at E3. I bought these little like bandages to put over the chafing on my thigh. I went into the bathroom to put that on, but that was like a temporary fix because, you know, your legs would get sweaty because you're around a bunch of, you know, sweaty nerds and whatnot. So I would sweat because I'm a sweaty nerd, and then it wouldn't work. And then unfortunately, like 2 hours in on the first day at E3, my foot, for some reason, it wasn't broken or anything, but just from walking, somehow it got in immense pain to the point where I was basically walking like I was hobbled, like on one foot. So I was just like barely getting around. So I had to sit down a lot. It was just kind of like two unfortunate circumstances that put me in pretty much a lot of pain for the entire E3 experience. Other than that, I mean, I did have fun playing the games, being there. The atmosphere was really neat, but yeah, MK11, back to full circle of what started that conversation on my big rant.
I love how no single story I hear about a trip to LA is complete without chafing.
Yeah, it was actually really nice weather, though. Super crazy traffic.
It was actually really nice chafing.
No, I mean, if you're gonna chafe, you chafed at a beach, right? But I was trying to think. We met up with Rain Reptile, so shout out to him. He was a really cool dude. But the MK11 front, I wasn't really that disappointed because I was just having a good time. Like, to me, it was a vacation. I think Ishii and Brusk were far more disappointed because they live in California, so to them, that wasn't as much of a vacation as they were going there for MK11. To me, E3 was a bonus. Like, it was kind of like a pushing over, but had E3 not been in Los Angeles, say it was in, I don't know, Texas. I've been to Texas so many times, I guess that's why it's not as special to me. the fact that it was in Los Angeles was the whole reason I really wanted to go. So it was kind of a bucket list thing on two fronts. But yeah, MK11, that's fine. I can wait. If it's not going to be here for several months to a year, next E3, what other people saying? Gamescom, PAX, whatever. I can wait the months, the year. It doesn't matter. We got Red Dead Redemption 2 coming out this year. We got several other good games coming. I'm perfectly fine. So it's a sense of being super hyped up for it, but it just kind of, it is.
Yeah, I think everyone's on that page of, I wish it was revealed. I'm disappointed it wasn't revealed, but I'm not like emotionally affected by it. I think that's where all of us kind of
right. The sky is not falling for me.
It would be really nice if it had been, but honestly, when you think about it, the fact that they chose to break their schedule and not tell anyone anything, it kind of, to me, reeks a little bit of promise. If they're taking 3 years or 4 years, God help us, instead of the usual, like, I don't know, 2 to announce something, I'd like to think that that means that something really special is in the works. And like you've said, there is absolutely no shortage of things to play and look forward to. So I'm cool. I'm zen. I'll wait. Gamescom, Evo, if nothing even happens to the end of this year, whatever. Plenty of other things to play.
Yeah, I mean, that's the key, too. Like, if there weren't so many good games coming out, I don't know if I would feel as easy as I do about all of this. I have a lot to look forward to, and that helps. That completely pacifies the situation for me. Like, if there was no Soul Calibur on the horizon, I'd be like, man, this sucks. I mean, I would move on with my day. I'd still go to work, but I wouldn't. I don't think I'd be taken as well as I am, of course.
I do think, when I do think about, like, MK11 and the fact that it's not been announced yet, and I'm like, when I have any thought about it at all, it's usually more like, well, if they're delaying it, then they must be adding some, like, new shit that's, like, more than the usual amount of content we get in a game. Like, maybe the roster is going to have, you know, like, usually we get a 30-character roster, maybe we're getting a 40-character one, or maybe they're putting in a different mode that they haven't done before, like a new version of Conquest or something. Maybe there's going to be something in this game that's way more content than they can do in the usual 2-year cycle, you know?
I can't hold that position.
It's nice to think.
I mean, I think that's likely. I think what you're saying is the most plausible route, but there's still part of my mind that's thinking, there's no reason to think it's guaranteed to be MK11. Like, if it is MK Volleyball, I mean, they could be delaying it because of the Hot Top Gun DLC, whatever. I don't know. Like, that's the problem. And I'm still worried it's going to be like an alternate concept, and I don't think it will be. I don't necessarily think that's a grounded concern.
My mind instantly went to Aaron Black as a goose.
Don't think.
I'm sorry.
I don't think the main MK team is the team that would make a game with a different engine.
I agree, but
that's the thing. Like, all of the people that they've hired and cultivated, these are people whose area of expertise is fighting games. NRS is built out of people who make fighting games. They're super fucking niche. Like, that's what WB wants them to be. So if we were to get, like, another Shaolin Monks or some other, like, offshoot game, I believe it would be made by a side studio, like how WB Montreal, rather than Rocksteady, made Arkham Origins.
I mean, but it can still be a fighting game and still be an alternate concept, though. I mean, for all we know, it's Mortal Kombat versus rival schools. I mean, there's no reason to think that couldn't happen. I mean, there's a lot of reasons.
There is every reason to think that couldn't happen.
Mortal Kombat Tag Team Tournament.
We can't even get Capcom versus rival schools. We can't get rival schools versus rival schools, for fuck's sake.
Fair point.
It's not happening. To make me sad.
Well, honestly, if it was tag tournament, there's not even a story mode. Like, that would almost be my best case scenario if it's just a Mortal Kombat non-canon tag game like Tekken.
No,
like,
see,
if you didn't go story, then you could
made a tag game. It would still be canon. If MK made a tag game, it would still be canon. They'd have a story mode. And Ed Boon does not make games that don't have story modes.
You don't know that.
It's like his primary thing is single-player content. These Mortal Kombat, out of all the mainstream fighting game franchises, succeeds the most, specifically because they target the casuals.
Yeah, well, I just talked to him, and you're wrong.
See, though, we have kind of proved with MKDC that you can put out a game with single-player content, which is actually absolutely abhorrent, and people will still play it. I agree with you on point, but if we were going to make 40 or 40-plus characters for a game, and don't you think that a game that focused exclusively on tag would be the perfect, guinea pig for such a thing?
I just feel like if the next game was going to be something off-script content-wise, like MK versus DC2 or another a different like genre than a fighting game, either of those options, I think Ed would have hinted something by now.
The hints do indicate MK11. Like
when he has dropped hints about what the next game is, they're always very predictable hints. It's always like, if you've been following the schedule, you know what our next game is. I don't think he'd have said those words if it was something other than a straight MK fighting game.
And yet, isn't he also the one that said, "I'm surprised you guys noticed that we broke the schedule"? Was that not him?
Remember that one? It's possible, but I don't think that means anything.
No, I mean, yeah.
Can he do both? Can he say, "You should know what our next game is if you've been following our schedule"? Oh, wait. We broke it. Surprised you guys noticed. Dip-a-dip. That is very much true.
But he said it in such a, I'm sorry, but we don't have anything at E3 way. It was more like he was saying the game's not ready to be revealed yet, rather than the game is different from the schedule.
That's kind of where I'm going for this. It sounded to me like we don't have anything yet. Because people at WB have told me it's in development.
Yeah, there was a very much a tone in his voice, like saying it without saying it. Yes, MK11 is coming, it's just not ready.
What was that last part, Shadaloo? You said you knew people from WB who said development?
Like, this is friend of a friend kind of shit, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll take it. What do you got?
It's in development.
Okay.
That's all I've got. That's all I've got. That's all anyone's willing to share with me. It's a thing that is happening. In other news, tomorrow is a day that will end in A, and the sun will rise. We hope.
I mean, honestly, like, if I was a betting man, I would bet an MK11. But, I mean, even if it is MK11, I'm still worried. I mean, after MKX, a new Mortal Kombat game is not precisely what I'm after. I want the game to be refined in a way that it does what MK9 did best. I feel like we lost a lot of the great aspects of MK9 and MKX. So I have a very high bar for this game. So we'll see. I mean, I just want to know I just wanted to know the direction. That's probably the biggest part of the disappointment. But there's a lot of good shit to talk about too. I'm really excited to talk about our E3 picks because I'm really happy with this. I thought this was a great year for E3.
Yeah, actually, I was super happy with the show.
I had things that appealed to me. Not very many, but more than usual. We were talking about doing our top threes for every single person. I guess now would be a good time to segue into that. So,
all right, who wants to?
I'll kick us off.
I would say go first, but Cyborg already did.
He kind of did. So, I mean, we've all kind of given our reactions as to what we were expecting and hoping for, and versus what the reality is, and where we're sitting now. And yes, I'm comfortable with moving on. So, my top three, going down from the third, is Death Stranding, because I'm a sucker for a Matrix-type advertisement. When you show me something repeatedly and make me more and more confused every time, I have to know what it's all about. If you give me $10,000 or the box's choices, I want what's in the box. I can't help myself. So, you show me Norman Reedus delivering packages, a fetus which powers lamps, invisible hand monsters. I don't know how I watched 10 minutes of that, and I feel like I know less about it than I did before.
I'm at this point fairly convinced that the game is a delivery boy simulator. Like, you just walk places, give them packages.
Multiple people here and at my workplace, and just people I've associated with have told me, I kind of want this to just be a thing that goes on and on. Just endless videos, and there's no actual game in development. It's all a joke. It's an interactive, immersive game fan experience with nothing really behind it. And
my favorite fan theory is that this whole game is secretly somehow set in the Metal Gear universe, and it's the Sorrow's origin, and that's who Mads Mikkelsen is playing.
That would be tight. That would be sick.
There's a lot of speculation by some of the tinfoil hat-wearing members of the community out there that the game is actually kind of a soft reboot of Silent Hill with sci-fi elements or some shit. Like, seriously, there are apparently assets from PT that people can swear that they're seeing transported into the game, like a picture of a landscape or hills.
That's true, but I've also seen videos connected to all these theories that said PT wasn't actually a Silent Hill game, but it was part of the Metal Gear universe.
The first, as they say, is real. So that's my number 3. My second is Shadows Die Twice, because I'm a sucker for FromSoft games, and you give me something that looks like that and a snake the size of a bridge, and you set it in a quasi-realistic time frame, and sure, give me a couple of giant enemy crabs, I'm down. I look forward to this. This looks fun. What my number 1 is, it's Rip and Tear. It's Doom.
It's a good choice.
It has huge guts.
The trailer did have
huge guts this year. Rip and Tear. But seriously, I'm so fucking looking forward to being back into Doom. I'm doing a replay right now, and I'm just having the time of my life. There's something so cathartic about it, and it's heaven. I look forward to revisiting that on Earth.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The rumors told us it was coming, so I'm not super surprised. But God, and I'm told that you can see part of his arm and it's bare, like the original cover art.
Oh yeah, I noticed that too.
Can. He's
he has his bicep. He has his guns out.
No, I'm excited for that as well. I didn't see it in the trailer, but I did not revisit the trailer since I saw it. So
there's a couple of Doom 2 specific enemies in the game as well, so we are definitely...
they brought back the fucking... the
Archvile.
The Archvile, and I think the Elemental.
Pain Elemental.
Yes, there you go, sir. Yep, that's the one.
Oh, so many dead demons. Gonna be wonderful.
Yeah, God, yeah, that was hype. I almost wish it had not. It didn't even leak. They just hinted it so strongly that they confirmed it. They over hinted it. They got too excited. So
you were saying before that Eternal Doom would have been a better name than Doom Eternal, and I do agree it kind of rolls off the tongue better. But
any adjective Doom works better for me. Yeah.
So I guess that's my 3, and of those 3, am I actually going to buy all 3 of them? Probably not. I'll probably just play Doom for another half of a year. But we'll see. Rach, did you give your 3?
Not yet.
Not yet? Alright. You're up to bat, boy.
Right. So first of all, I'm going to give a runner-up, because Smash Brothers would be in my top 3, except I actually don't want Nintendo to give me reasons to buy a Switch, because that's how it is with every fucking Nintendo console. One fucking game. And I'm just... It's so much money!
I have to confess that my Switch has been gathering a little bit of dust since I finished Mario and Zelda. Kinda was really hoping for a Metroid Prime 4 expose, but disappointed that I did not get it.
Yeah, but now I have to get a Switch. I mean, I'll play Prime 4 if there's a Prime 4.
Like, it's pretty much already been announced as it's in development. They mentioned something at their last Treehouse special. They gave us a title and nothing else.
Well, I'll be looking forward to that then. But for now, it's mostly like, God damn it, I have to buy another Smash console. actual list, number 3 is Doom. I am also looking forward to the ripping and the tearing.
As it should be. As you should be.
My number 2 is Resident Evil 2 Remake, because goddamn the graphics.
That was
this level of destructibility to the zombies, it looks so fucking good. And
I've got to say, I was really impressed.
Like, before they showed any footage of it, and everybody was, like, looking forward to seeing the reveal and what it would look like, a lot of people were talking about how, like, if it didn't have, like, the pre-rendered camera angles and the tank controls, they wouldn't be happy with it. And, like, yes, what we got is over the shoulder, but you're still kind of tanky. The zombies take an incredible amount of damage before they go down. And you can't, like, roundhouse or suplex them, so it's a horror game. Like, I feel like this is the best of all worlds.
And they've already confirmed that Hunk and Tofu are coming back.
They have done that, yes.
And they put Mr. X in as a stinger, which I thought was really smart.
Yeah, I have been wondering, because the zapping system isn't coming back. Apparently, they're just going to straight do... You play Leon A, and then you play Claire B, and that's how it works.
I did not know that, and that is extremely disappointing. But yeah. I guess it makes sense. I can't argue with it, because the game is probably so resource-heavy, but that sucks.
Yeah. But, I've heard people say that, like, the reason Claire looks so different is because, like, they think she's more based on the actress who played Claire in the Romero Resident Evil 2 commercial.
They look very much alike. There's a lot of resemblance, but that's still fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's still way different than Claire's looked in all of the things. So
yeah,
I feel like they went a little far with her redesign, but Leon looks great to me.
Yep, I mean, Leon, it's hard to fuck up that design.
Yeah, no, all you have to do is have the floppy Leo and Titanic hair and you're done.
Yeah, pretty much. You get the colors right after that, and you got a Leon, so...
Yeah. So my number 1 vote is Devil May Cry 5. I am super fucking looking forward to that game, and I have been listening to the song Devil Trigger on repeat for a week straight. I think I may have a problem.
I'm in the same boat, except that your Devil Trigger is my Mick Gordon, and my Mick Gordon was only interrupted by 9 Inch Nails, because the new album came out, like, 2 days... Well, it leaked 2 days ago, and even now, I'm like, getting those urges for E1M1 back. Boy. BFG zone. No, it's a thing I'll do all the time. Like, if a game is coming out, I'll put a metric shit ton of songs from that series on my player for, like, the week leading up to the release.
Yeah, I mean, I can't relate. I bought Devil May Cry when I worked at GameStop for $5. I played it for about maybe an hour and a half, and I never touched it ever again. So I'm happy everyone else is happy, but I just I have no attachment to that franchise at all.
And that's kind of where I am for Resident Evil. Sorry, guys, I'm a Silent Hill guy. You know this.
Did you play Resident Evil 2, though, Shad?
Yonks ago. In a time, before time. It was the 90s. Up until
you talk like it's like about like perms or something like that. It was the 90s. It's just what we did. Yeah.
For as long as it's been since RE2 came out, I have extremely vivid memories of it because most of the time I played it was in like my parents' basement with the lights off. You know, it was like the best / worst possible way to play a horror game.
Don't do that. That's not smart.
I did that with Silent Hill, and I turned out fine.
Yeah, I've never played a Silent Hill in my life. Not a single one.
I think that if you got a hold of 2 today and did the basement without no lights staying on, you would not regret it. Or you might. You might. But in a good way.
I don't know. I mean, I live by myself, so if I fuck myself up in the head, like, I don't have that security of knowing, like, you know, if a nurse who has 15 heads for a leg like doesn't like break in my room, then I don't. I'm going down. I'm swinging my base to protect myself. But I don't know. Well, Razor, I had to step aside for a second. What was your number 3 again?
My number 3 was Doom.
Doom. Gotcha. Okay.
Doom, Resident Evil, Devil May Cry.
Gotcha. That is a good lineup. That is a very respectable lineup. Any final thoughts on Devil May Cry before I start my list, or?
No, I'm super. I mean, we don't know very much other than what was in the trailer, so.
It's like Resident Evil. It's not a series that ever appealed to me. I have nothing against it. I just never took it up. I'm happy everyone else is happy.
You guys know that like my favorite genre in video games isn't even fighting games, despite being an MK4 of a beat 'em up guy, and games like Devil May Cry and Bayonetta are the natural evolution of the beat 'em up genre. Like,
Pretty
they're just super advanced gameplay beat 'em ups. Like, I wish they were multiplayer, because that's part of the appeal of a beat 'em up too, but like, I'll take what I can get.
Yeah, no, it's been a while, so I respect the game a lot, because I know so many people who love it, and God, when I went to work, there were so many people who were happy about Devil May Cry. Like, just one of the great things about this E3 has just been watching reaction videos and seeing everyone get so pumped from all the reveals, and that has been fantastic. Like, I always love seeing that. I still watch Resident Evil 7 reaction videos to this day because I enjoy them so much. So that's tight. I'm all over that shit.
Yeah, like, I like the DMC games so much that I would play them for the channel, except I don't want to be exposed as a scrub. Because those are the kind of games that you actually like have to be good at.
I have debated going to like do a playthrough of Doom for the channel or something, but the thing is, when you look good playing Doom is when you're really, really good. If you're only moderately acceptable, it's the most anticlimactic viewing experience ever. Just walking sideways fast into a wall, missing 35 plasma shots, fuck it, punching the demon 3 times in the head, then running into a wall, adjusting course a little bit, then going through the door. It's so easy to fuck up style when you're playing Doom. So easy.
Yeah, like, the whole appeal of a game like DMC is how hard can you style on them? And it's like, I'm not that good. I'm just not.
So, Temp, you're 3 then.
Let's do it. I've been having to step aside from the mic here and there's some crazy shit going on outside my apartment, actually. But yeah, we'll get started. I do have a couple of honorable mentions, but I'll probably bring them up afterwards. For my number 3 is Resident Evil Remake, just because I think it looks really good, but that game hinges on a couple of very important things, which I'm just not entirely sold on yet. I think the game looks really good, but just the gameplay in what makes Resident Evil 2 and especially Resident Evil 4 so unique is their their philosophy on eliminating zombies. 2 is a very conservative game. The idea is you kill as little as possible, and you kill when you absolutely have to, and I have a lot of respect for that. I was never good at that. I could not beat the scenarios on normal back then. I was super young too, but if I tried again, I'm sure I'd be fine with it. But back then, I just didn't have the discipline or the patience to do it. But yeah, I don't know. Like, you got to make the gameplay fun. Horror is great, but it's got to be a game first. And I don't know if I'm completely sold on the zombie mechanics yet. That's a concern. I really lament the change in Claire's face, because the whole point of remaking a game is to make it immersive in a way that you couldn't do it 20 years ago. And when you fucking change a character's face, it's distracting. It takes me out of the experience. The original Claire she was gorgeous. Like, what? And Snake Eyes mentioned in the chat they did it because of the actress, but God, I wish there was a better way. They got Leon to look like Leon, but Claire's face just looks completely different. And to me, that hurts the character if you change. It's like recasting an actor in a movie. It's really distracting. And I guess the horrible cherry on top. This is my third favorite game, by the way. I like this game, but I guess the horrible cherry on top is the fact that they took out 2 scenarios out of the game. It's only scenario A and scenario B. And honestly, I am not a fan of Leon A, Claire B. I like Claire A, Leon B, because to me, that is the true canon. That, believe it or not, that's when Leon's actually the main character. That's when Ada Wong throws the rocket launcher. That's true Resident Evil 2 to me.
Yeah, that is a weird thing, because I think Claire A. Leon B is the canon version.
It's the best. It's the most interesting. And one thing I also like about it is I don't remember her name. I think it may have been Diane, but it makes Sherry's mother look a lot more sympathetic and a lot more human. Where in Leon A, she's basically just a bitch who shoots Leon, I think. It's been a while.
Well, I imagine they're going to be mixing up plot elements so that you'll get like the canon stuff in there. It's just going to be a change to the placement of where people are in and around the police station and shit like that.
And thank you, Snake Eyes. I'm actually pretty open to that stuff as long as it doesn't take me out of the experience and as long as it doesn't omit something that I liked about the original, especially because, I mean, there's so many things that make Resident Evil 2 so good. The two beating hearts of that game are sort of Claire doing the alien's tooth or the aliens thing with Sherry. That is very interesting to me. Then you have Leon, who's basically doesn't really know what he's doing. He's trying to survive the zombie apocalypse. And he has this femme fatale kind of secretly, aiding him or not aiding him in the shadows. And those two beating hearts form this really fun storyline. And just the Claire-Leon dynamic was interesting too, because people don't even know each other and they have to work with each other. And one of my favorite parts of Resident Evil 2 is when Claire is telling Leon, you have to save Sherry, and Leon's like, what the fuck are you talking about? What's a Sherry? I don't know what's going on. But he has to do it, and Sherry has no idea who he is. I mean, she's unconscious, so it doesn't matter, but I like that. I like that setup. Don't fuck with that. Don't fuck with that. So that's how I feel about the remake. But I'm excited. It's kind of like pizza. Even when it's bad, it's still pretty good. So I'm excited for Resident Evil Remake regardless of what they do.
I mean, as far as plot elements, I have a lot of faith in them just because it's like, these are the people who did the RE1 remake, right? And look at how good that was.
Oh, believe it or not, I never played that. So I am told it's very good, though.
I mean, they nailed it. Like, RE1 is the definitive example for the right way to remake something in video games.
I mean, I have it on my console. I downloaded it for free on the PSN network, and the greatest way for me to not play it for free, if you give me something for free, that is a fantastic way for me not to play it.
That is the story of how I never played Life is Strange.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It's free on PS Plus this month. Download. Let it sit there. PS Plus expires. Game is now locked. I can't play it anyway. Oh well, YOLO.
It happens every time. It happens multiple times a year, actually. There's a lot of great games I don't play just because I download them for free and never touched them again. But closing thoughts on Resident Evil, I am really excited for the game. I think it looks beautiful. There's some really early missteps, which I don't think are ever going to get fixed, and that makes me sad. But I'm staying optimistic, and to me, I mean, I just like the duo. To me, it's about... Resident Evil 2 is about a biker girl with a heart of gold and a rookie cop with a heart of rookie, and they're just working together to take down the zombie apocalypse. That is Resident Evil 2 to me. I love that game. I hope they do it justice. So yeah, easily third favorite with some reservations. Number 2 is Doom.
Yes.
Eternal.
Yes.
Doom 2016 is easily the best game I've played in 10 years. Like, if we're taking fighting games out of the running, God, probably longer than that. Maybe the only game I can think of where I had as much, maybe slightly more of a positive experience was Okami, but that's it. Nothing else. Even then, like, they're battling it out, but I fucking love Doom 2016. That was a fantastic game. So
if I'm hearing this right, Nethercast room Doom multiplayer sessions, yes?
Maybe. Was Doom 2016 multiplayer good, though?
I don't know. I only ever did the single player.
I heard mixed things, so I'm open-minded since I have the game on 2 consoles.
The impression I remember hearing was it's a game that you basically play for the single player and no other reason.
Well, yeah, that was the review of the multiplayer. The review of the multiplayer was, why the fuck would you play multiplayer in Doom? That was the whole review.
Yeah. Snake Eyes says it got better. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, I'm open-minded to trying it. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about Doom. I mean, like I said, it was the best game in 10 years.
I was struggling for things, but I mean, I feel like all that you really have to say is, it's Doom. Destroy everything in front of you, blast some awesome metal music, and it's like coming home again.
Back in the day when Quake was first invented, wasn't that the idea was, hey, what if Doom was a multiplayer game?
Pretty much.
Yeah, well, at least like a mainstream multiplayer game. There were like LAN networks at colleges where people would play Doom online, and it did have a huge online community doing that. And then I think it actually did have a server eventually.
Doom Online was a problem back in the 90s. You had people who were playing it at work, and they were fucking up bandwidth, and you had companies that were actually putting limiters on so that whenever Doom started up, the program would get a message to auto-close. Doom was a literal... like, if I remember right, id at the time proudly claimed that Doom was the leading cause of loss of productivity in offices worldwide, or at least North America, for like the year 1993 or 4. I'm not making this up.
Nice. That would be awesome if your boss comes into your desk and he fucking limits your bandwidth and he's all like, I am not the villain in this story. That'd be fucking tight. I would dig, but I don't know. I think Red Letter Media said it best. What makes Doom so great, 2016 that is it makes the gameplay and the action a reward for in itself as opposed to something you do to get to the reward. When you kill something, they reward you with more killing, and I think that is good game design. And it was such a subversion to other shooters at the time. Because other shooters, you know, you can pretty much crouch and regain your life and do this game of tag. And as Rich Evans said, you know, there's no safe space in Doom. They're coming for you, and that is such a great. I mean, if you want to get your health back, you got to kill the thing that's trying to kill you. That is such good game design.
There's no running or hiding. There's no like real camping. There's none of that. Just get in there, take your shotgun, and destroy everything in front of you. And then when that runs out, use your chainsaw. Then when that runs out, use your goddamn bare hands. It's alpha male testosterone in Blu-ray disc form.
And no one's really done that in a long time. Like, no game has really made me feel like a badass like Doom made me feel like a badass.
Of course, that's not to say that Doom is not for girls. Doom can certainly be for girls. We don't discriminate.
Badass girls.
Just saying, there's something really manly about, like, sticking a shotgun down a demon's throat and letting go. See? That was already sexual. Not even trying.
Well, the cool part about Doom Guy is he's such a good role model. Because he's really a nice guy when you get down to it. Like, he does a lot of good things for good reasons.
He had a pet rabbit.
Oh, that poor rabbit.
Moment of silence for the rabbit. Thank you.
But yes, Doom 2 is my second choice. I think Doom, if you have not played Doom 2016, oh my god, that is one of the best games ever made. Let it kick off, give it a few stages, but once you get to stage 5, it is amazing. There's nothing like it. It's so fun.
The game is $20 now or something at this point. There is no reason to not play this game. And you know what? Even the lore is wonderful. It toes the line between hilarious and immersive. You know, you can get a little bit lost in all this stupid lore about a portal to hell opening up on Mars. And it's nothing more or less than what it always was, just with a little bit of extra fancy detail. And it doesn't take itself entirely seriously like Doom 3 tried to. So I appreciate
my favorite thing about, like, the storyline in Doom is that when the game first begins, Doom Guy himself is, like, actively avoiding being, like, spoken to by NPCs. Like, he will punch the radio to shut it up and stuff like that. He will be sent on a mission, and he'll get to, like, the objective, and there's a voice in his ear going, now, we want you to, like, save these things because they're important, and he cuts them off in mid-sentence by smashing the thing.
Yes, it's good storytelling for one thing. That is, like, again, I'm quoting a lot of Red Letter Media, but that is a great way to develop a character. It goes back to that theme of subversion. That was basically their way of saying fuck you to all the first-person shooters who put 30-minute tutorials in there, made these boring first stages, you know, with all the padded, you know, walls and stuff like that. Yeah. That was Doom's way of saying you're not safe here, get good. And They do it quickly. It's like, you're here to play a game. Here is your game. Enjoy.
Yeah.
But it also speaks so well of Doom Guy. Like Shadowloo said, it's good lore, but it's also good storytelling. It's a great way to develop a character with words. It's a great way to reveal lore without having to shove it down your throat. You know, you're not given it the lore. You explore the lore, and that's fantastic to me. I think.
Yeah, and
so well
like
done.
you're almost never really like forced to like sit and watch a cutscene. Like when there are like lengthy lore drops, it's always like a text pickup you can choose whether or not you want to read, like Bloodborne or something like that.
Yeah, and I read them. I read them all. I thought they were great. I couldn't get enough of it. And in Bloodborne, I didn't read shit. I was killing werewolves.
That's because all the text that's in a FromSoft game is completely optional. Like, it's really just flavor. And it has nothing to do with anything, really, because those games don't really have a story beyond that. But
I think you're going to find a lot of Dark Souls fans who would disagree with you on that.
But those are crazy people.
No, like
that's what happens to your brain when you insist on reading all of that stuff.
Razor,
you start putting pins in a fucking corkboard.
This is the story of you and all Mortal Kombat lore. I just want to make that clear. This is pot. You died. Kettle.
Okay, but
I'm just saying.
You would have a point if, like, Dark Souls actually had, like, cutscenes.
You don't need cutscenes to tell the story.
Or were released in the fucking SNES era with comic books.
I'll tell Django.
When Dark Souls has a movie, we can talk about lore.
You didn't.
I'll let Django give his rebuttal
items, man. You didn't.
On the Warrior Shrine,
because there's a lot there, like right down to like what the deal with the last boss is, why it's there, why like, Queen Deadface is in Bloodborne. Things have an explanation.
None of it is ever really personally important to the character you're playing.
Whereas it's all optional.
Like in Doom, the story is happening around you, and Doom Guy is trying not to be involved in it because he just wants to kill the fucking demons. But he still is.
I'm just saying.
Well, I will say
it's got a story, but whether or not you want to explore it, you're right. It's completely and utterly optional. The fabric is there. The world is there to explore, just like Doom in a way, but with less presented to you.
I feel like lore in Dark Souls is different from every other game ever made because it's more masturbatory.
It's actually a good segue into my number one pick. But before I get there, I was going to say...
Masturbate us away, Teb.
Well, I played Bloodborne. I still don't know if I agree or disagree with Razor. It's a very complicated subject, but I will say this. A big problem with Bloodborne is you can't connect to the event because you don't know what it means until after it happens. And that doesn't make for a good storytelling experience. I think that is absolutely to Razor's point. It's like you kill a wet nurse, you don't know why until you read, an online article 2 days later. So you can't connect to the event. That's a problem. That's a big issue of why I struggle with Bloodborne. I do like the game, by the way. And I think another problem is the main character is not a character. It's basically you projecting into the game, and that it's hard to get attached to that. It's hard to get attached to creative characters, especially when you can't change their hats very often. That's troublesome. So, anyway, number one. My number one pick is Dead or Alive 6. I am very excited for that game.
The fuck is wrong with you?
I think what they're doing is really smart, and I hope they don't back down this time. But say more, Shadowloo. What do you think?
Why are you playing a tit simulator?
Well, hopefully it's not that
anymore.
anymore.
They put clothes on Kasumi. She's actually covered.
They gave her a scuba suit. So I don't know. To me, Dead or Alive's always been a good game. That's nothing new.
Okay. Context. Last DOA game I played was DOA 2, and it felt like rock, paper, scissors, the fighting game, and I got fucking bored.
Yeah, that's always been kind of my problem with DOA, is it's more rock, paper, scissors-y than any other fighting game.
It's dumb. MK1 had more substance to it.
Well, I'll give my counter argument.
I wouldn't go that far. I actually do kind of enjoy DOA 2.
I love DOA 2. I wasn't good at it, nor am I really good at DOA 5. I'm labbing it right now.
I'm not saying it's a totally shit series, but it was never my first, second, third, fourth, or even fifth choice when it came to a fighting game to play. Sorry.
Well, here's my way of saying that DOA is better than MKX. It's because MKX is, once you get in...
Whoremonger, continue.
Well, you have two options once you get in with MKX. You go high or low. But with DOA, when you start your offense, you can do a stun, right? You can do a throw. Obviously, you know, throws are universal. As a matter of fact, you're supposed to throw punish in DOA. But you can delay all your strings in DOA. There actually are speed variations for your combo strings. So that affects the parry game in a big way. But also, when you get a stun, you don't necessarily have to go into a ground combo. And also, there's counter hits in Dead or Alive that don't exist in MKX. So you can score launchers, and once you get the launcher, that whole rock scissors paper thing goes out the window. But unlike MKX, DOA has a trifle of rock scissors paper. Really, it's more than that, honestly. Whereas that's not really true with MKX. MKX, it's high, low, or throw. With DOA, you don't have to play the rock scissors paper game, but it is there if you wish. There's a lot of timing variations and a lot of high mid variations, a lot of stun variations that you can utilize. And it unlike MKX, DOA rewards variety of gameplay in a way that really no fighting game, even Tekken, doesn't reward variety of gameplay that much. It rewards spacing, it rewards execution, and it rewards footsies, but it does not reward variety. As a matter of fact, you're not playing optimally if you play with a variety of moves and combos in Tekken. You're just giving up damage. At least once you score a conversion, that might change in the neutral. But yeah, I think the game is extremely layered. It's very fast. It's much faster than Tekken. But this is nothing new. I've always felt this way about DOA. Why am I so excited for the new one? I think they're bringing dignity back to the series, and I know they said this last time, but I hope they're for real this time. I hope they don't back down, because as much as I love the game, I don't want to be associated with DOA 5. Like, if I won a DOA 5 tournament, I'd be fucking embarrassed. I want the game to be dignified. I don't mind characters looking sexy and cool, but if the game is actively trying to arouse you, it's just a bad look.
I like how it's DOA 5 that's doing this, and not like the softcore pornography simulator in 3 parts that came out.
Here's the difference, is that DOA 5 isn't actually a video game. It's just a vehicle to sell hundreds of dollars in DLC costumes.
Yeah, no, it works.
Like, the costumes cost more than the base game.
They know who their audience is.
I don't think that's true of the volleyball series. I could be wrong.
They have always known who their audience is. I can respect you enjoying the game. More than MKX remains a dubious prospect to my eyes and ears, and I might go eat a bar of soap afterwards to wash out what I feel like saying.
Well,
but
if there's any
dignity, do you think there is honestly going to be dignity 5 months into release? No.
Even if it doesn't have dignity, I still think it's better than MKX, because in MKX you can diversify your offense. That's a big deal.
I kind of respect a game that doesn't care about dignity. Like, I have stronger feelings, like positive feelings, for the fact that Soul Calibur just decided, fuck it, Taki's gonna wear what Taki wears, than MKX putting Melina in pants.
Yeah, but I mean, Taki's an element within Soul Calibur. Taki doesn't really define the Soul Calibur aesthetic way
it's just more honest to stick with what you've always done than to, like, try to get the dignity. If you didn't have the dignity before.
If that argument held true, Sonya would still be wearing a thong outside of her pants.
And I just
tune in for Lost.
This hasn't aired yet, but I came in on the defending side of the Sonya's thong thing. Remember?
Not down with it. Sorry, folks. Not down with it at all.
Regardless, the game looks so good. I think the cinematic effects on hits look fantastic. I think the graphics look fantastic. I've always liked DOA, but like I said, I thought, okay, fine, we don't need dignity, but the game can't look stupid, all right? DOA 5 had some stupid looking shit. I don't want to fight like a cheerleader
Question
or
mark.
like a cat. I think
does the game have Zack in it?
Yes.
It
Actually,
is
Zack
stupid.
looks really good in this game, too.
It is now stupid. There will be
Yeah,
a COD.
right into that trap.
There will be a COD piece, and there will be that stupid taunt he did, and you have no dignity.
Django doesn't know this, but I have a whole page of DOA 6 notes from E3.
Gutter
So I
trash.
look forward to his reaction to that. But yeah, I've always thought the game was good. I feel like it was very layered. There is that rock scissors paper game in there, but you can set up a launcher. You can set up your stun for a tick throw. You can set your stun and delay your strings. You can go for another block string reset. And I mean, if you use a variety of strings anyway, it's not like MKX where it's high low throw, high low throw. No, I mean, if you time your strings and use a variety of strings, it is not easy to do that shit. And if you're good at that shit, that is a real skill. You know what's not a real skill? Holding down back. That is not a fucking skill. That is just MKX forcing you to guess between two options. So we're going to talk about MKX a lot on the New Warrior Shrine. And I do dislike the game, but I don't think it's a completely bad game. I just think it's shallow. DOA takes a lot of the MKX elements for the mix-ups and just makes them more sophisticated. But regardless, even if you think MKX is better, I don't think DOA has ever looked this good. And I'm really happy the game is after they trolled us and said there were no foreseeable plans for DOA. That was hilarious, by the way. They had I don't know. I mentioned this in the Warriors Shrine. I don't know if I told you guys, but I think around the time of it was either final round or sometime earlier this year, they said big DOA announcement, right? And everyone goes to the tournament, it's like, oh, sick, there's going to be a big DOA announcement. I bet it's going to be DOA 6. And the announcement is that they're concluding their DLC and there's no foreseeable plans for DOA. It was the funniest shit ever. So that was funny to me. I got a good laugh out of that because everyone was so heartbroken. And I don't know, this was a nice little reveal given what happened previously. And I think this was all part of the plan. And I applaud that. That was nice of them because that sucks a lot of the cruelty out of what they did. It doesn't make it less funny. It's still hilarious, but God, I hope this game succeeds, and I hope it doesn't turn into a bunch of witch costumes and cat costumes in a year from now. I hope it doesn't go down that route. But if it does, the game is still good, and I still believe in the fighting engine behind it. I still think, and it's coming so soon too. It's early 2019, so yeah. I expected this reaction, but I hope you guys turn around because I think the game looks so good, and I think DOA's always had really smart stuff in it. It just never had the spotlight, unfortunately.
Any good qualities it has will instantly be overshadowed by cat suits and Zack's thong.
I do think it looks all right.
It's visually impressive.
I think the thing for me is just that we're in a period of too many fighting games.
Yeah, that's true.
We have been for like 2 years.
Kind of not starved for choice, and there's just other things I'd rather be playing.
Well, I do want to reiterate that I said it. As long as my main comes back, I am all in on Soul Calibur 6. That is my game. So unless MK11 is like wall breaking, and I hope it is, then I'm a Soul Calibur player, and everything else is secondary. Like, that is the plan right now. So I've been labbing Soul Calibur 2 to prepare for Soul Calibur 6, and yeah, I have the E3. That's another. I was actually doing my honorable mention, by the way, with Soul Calibur because they expanded the select screen, and that was my only concern. I'm like, with the select screen as it is now, there's almost no way everyone can come back from Soul Calibur 1, and they expanded the select screen. So I have 80% hope that my main is coming back, and that I can lab Sungmina and take her as far as I possibly can in Soul Calibur 6, and that is a huge relief to me. I mean, I could be wrong. She may still not be in the game, but the odds of that are super low at this point. The odds of them leaving out. I mean, God, they're the biggest Namco FGCs in Korea. Why would you leave out the most popular Korean character? It doesn't make any sense. So, yes, Bruce, we will definitely do some Soul Calibur matches. That is a guarantee. Unless something is on in the game, then I will never touch it. But yeah, I mean, and Soul Calibur's in a very special place right now because they screwed me hard with Soul Calibur 5. That to me is the worst fighting game I've ever bought. Like in terms of just like a negative experience. So yeah, that's the thing. That's where we're at. I have reason to believe that's probably gonna be the next big thing for me, unless my main doesn't make it. And I just don't see that happening anymore. So Soul Calibur is where it's at. That's going to get me through to MK11, regardless of whether it's good or not.
I don't think there's ever been a Soul Calibur game without selling Mina, if I'm not mistaken. She's always been in every one, no?
I mean, it's only 5. 5's the only one she's not in, but that doesn't count.
Yeah, that's 5. But yeah, I think at this point, Mina and Talim, all of the the ones that tend to be in every game from 1 and 2 are definitely coming back. I don't know if we'll get Huang or Yunsung, or that's a fuzzy area.
We'll get one of them. I don't know which one, but we're going to get either Huang or Yunsung. I just don't know which one.
I saw the devs talking. I saw when they brought the demo to Maximilian's house to let him play it for a while.
Yeah.
And one of the things they said that was that sort of the big thing that they use to decide who makes a roster is the weapons. Like, they like to have a diverse group of weapons in the game. And
that's always been
that makes me wonder whether or not Tira will make it, because she is kind of the most diverse a weapon can be.
Well, I think that actually increases her chances. No one else uses
no, I'm not saying. I'm saying she's probably likely. I'm just because I mean, Salamel already made it, and he was a 3 character, not a 1 or 2 character.
I hope Hildy makes it based on that logic, because I think she's the one I'm probably worried about the most now that I think Sungmina is probably a lock. So, well, actually, if what he says is true, that actually hurts Sungmina because she shares a lot of properties with Keelik. So that's a little concerning, but
yeah. But I also, I think just because Mina, I think if you look at weapons, I don't think they look at Mina as Keelik clone so much as a spear character.
Yes, I agree.
We haven't seen Voldo yet, have we?
No, Voldo hasn't been announced.
No, we have not seen Voldo yet.
Yeah.
They're not going to leave out Voldo or Astaroth.
Never.
Yeah, those two are more big, returning all the time character. I'm sure everybody is in.
But Lizardman's been semi-confirmed, and he was basically a Sophitia clone, so I don't know.
Well, Lizardman got his own moveset in the more recent games.
See, Soul Calibur 2 is the only one I can play competitively, so I don't know. I don't play Lizardman even in Soul Calibur 2, so I don't know what's changed.
Switched from a sword to an axe, and I think in the last game he got a completely new moveset because he actually because Kratos was a guest character in the game before that, and they gave him Kratos' moves.
Okay. Huh. Are you guys excited for Soul? I mean, Shadowloo, I think you said you weren't really a Soul Calibur guy, but
Have
you changed your mind?
No, I just don't do 3D fighters. With DOA, it's a matter of I actually dislike the series, and with Soul Calibur and Tekken, it's just a matter of I've found my niche, and I moved from 2D gaming to 2.5D and 3D, and it never worked for me in much the same way that 2D gaming ever did. I'm just not there.
I had to go to 3D gaming because even though I love Street Fighter V, at least gameplay wise, I hit a burnout point with 2D. I'm like, I always wanted to go to 3D. I always regret that I dropped Tekken back when Tekken Tag 2 came out. Like, that was one of my deepest fighting game regrets because I lost so much time doing that. But after the burnout of Street Fighter V, I was like, I want to do this. I want to see how good I can be at a 3D game. And I really, really put my effort into Tekken 7. And that has been a great experience. I feel like I'm competent in a way I wasn't before in 3D fighting. I'm still not great, but if you guys get Tekken 7 or Soul Calibur or...
I mean, I'll definitely get Soul Calibur.
I'd love to play you guys.
I'll be there for you.
Excellent. Well, what console are you getting on, Razor? Because I think we're all going PlayStation.
Then I'll be on PlayStation then.
Sick.
Forever alone. Just you and me, Street Fighter 30th. Just you and me. One deal to fix.
No, that's not true. I got the game too. We can play 30th anytime you want.
All right, hell yeah.
Let's go.
Did they fix shit yet? Is it possible to form lobbies?
I don't think so, no. But I'm down, yeah. I've been lapping Yang.
All right, fine. It's on. But I guess that's it for this episode. You have nothing further to discuss, I suppose. That's our top 3. That's our MKX thoughts, MK11 thoughts. We're good. I think we're okay.
I mean, I have more DOA 6 stuff, but I mean, it's fine.
Let's not fill the channel with that.
I think we're good.
No. All right. So, thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's been quite some time. Bear with us, suffer as we suffer. 11's coming one of these days. Thank you very much for BC to give me the opportunity to step in and sub for a night. And thank you to the Test Your Might crew. And as always, to all of our wonderful listeners, ladies, gentlemen, children of all ages, boys and girls. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. Good night.
Take care, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.